Hi, this is Kate from Isalicious Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to make some of the blocks from Minecraft. Now I made these as camouflage blocks, but they kind of look like a bit like the glow stones. This one is just the normal sort of grass on the top with the earth. So this is the one we're going to make today. So the things that you're going to need, and I guess once you've made one and you learn the design, you can make them any colour you like, so it's completely up to you. Now, what we're going to need, there's a few things. We're going to need the cardboard roll from a toilet roll, okay? So you need the cardboard from in that. And what you're going to do, you need scissors, you need a hook. I use a 2.75 for when I'm crocheting with bands. I find that's the nicest size. You're going to need a pencil, some scissors, a ruler, a stitch marker. I use those to mark where I start and where I finish. Now, what we're going to do, take your ruler and we're going to measure. Now, this is nearly 4 inches. It's just a bit short of 4 inches. So, making it so that we've sort of got 2 inches in the middle, like that, I'm going to use a pencil and just mark at that spot, okay? And you can see I've already done it there as well. That's all you need your ruler for. Now, what we're going to do is squish this down. And using the back of your hook or the back of a pencil or something, you're going to scour these edges like this so that they are as flat as possible. Okay, don't worry about that, that doesn't matter. Scour them as much as possible, and then you're going to cut this in half. Alright, like that. Now this will make one each make a block, so this makes one block, that makes another block, so we don't need the other half of that. Now what you're going to do is squish it so that the two lines that you just created, the two seams that you just created, marry them up so that they're at the same spot like this, and then you're going to run your pencil, hook, whatever, down those seams as well, so that when you pop it open you have a square. And that is going to give us the shape that we need for our little block to keep it square, even though we're going to make the top so that it looks a bit square. This gives it a bit of shape. It helps it stay sort of in a squarish shape. Do you need to do that? No, you can just stuff it. I've made a tiny one here and that has nothing in it. And it's kind of square, but as you can see the edges are sort of round. If you're happy with that, that's fine. You don't need to do this bit. But I'm going to be putting the little bit in to give it a bit of shape. Alright, so let's get started. We're going to put this to one side. We don't need that yet. We don't need our scissors anymore. We do need a loom just to do our magic ring. Now, if you are, I'm going to zoom in, proficient enough to do your magic ring on your hook, fabulous. You don't need to do the loom part, but if you get a little bit confused about how to do the magic ring, this is a good way to show you how we do it. Now I'm just going to make sure that I'm angled correctly so that I don't go out of camera screen. We're going to do 6 bands in our magic ring, okay, and we're going to take one band and loop it around our peg twice. So there's once and twice, like that. And then with our first band we're going to push our hook through. Now I have a video on how to do this magic ring, and it's called Magic Ring Made Easy or something like that. It's in my tips and tricks playlist. Have a look at that if you haven't done this before. It'll make making this little ring a little bit easier. I go slower and show you exactly how, a bit closer up. Also, if you're going to be doing this project, you might want to look at my beginner's guide to Loomigurumi first, because otherwise the terminology that I use and the techniques that we use for this sort of looming with bands is going to be completely alien to you, and it's going to really confuse you. So again, it's in my tips and tricks. It's called Loomigurumi for Beginners, and it should really help you. Take the side closest to you, up and over, and you've made a little slip knot, and we're going to budge that around the peg and get our next band and slide through one over the other, and then join them together by taking that one up and over, and again budge round. We're doing this for all 6 of these bands, okay, and budge around and budge around nudge around, and there we go. Let's take that off our loom. That's all we need our loom for, so we can get rid of that. Space these out, just gently even these out around the ring so that it's more of a ring rather than a semicircle. It's called a magic ring, not a magic semicircle, isn't it? Alright, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 6 is on our hook. We're going to push our hook through number 1, that first stitch, and we're going to be doing what's called an increase. Now an increase is where you do 2 single crochets in each stitch. So you do 2 single crochets in each of these, and that's going to make it go from 6 stitches around to 12 stitches around. So you know you're going to use 12 bands. Okay, so let's get some bands ready. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12. Let's do our first one in here and loop it onto that hook, the one you already had on your hook. This is the spot that you put your marker, your stitch marker. If you do not have a stitch marker, you can use a C-clip, you can use an S-clip, you can use a paper clip. Whatever you have lying around will help. Push your hook back through that first stitch, and we're going to do our second single crochet in here. So pull it through, do your crochet, little slip knot, and join it together. So you did 2 in that stitch. We now move to this stitch and we're going to do 2 in here. There's number 1, and here is number 2. Move to the next stitch, number 1 and number 2, and we go around until we get to the stitch marker, which tells us we're back to the beginning again. Oops, here's our 12th band. There we go, we're back to the beginning. So this is our stitch number 1. So we have 12 stitches around now, not 6. Push your hook through that first stitch. We're going to do a single crochet in that first stitch, just like that, and we will move our stitch marker to that spot. Alright, next we're going to do an increase in this one right here. So that was our first stitch, which we got the single crochet. We're going to do an increase in it, so push your hook back through that first stitch and pull through another band and join it together. Then we're going to do a single crochet in stitch number 2, followed by an increase in stitch number 3, so that's 2 single crochets. So there's 1 and 2. Now we're going to do single crochet, single crochet, and an increase. That's number 1. Here's number 2. Now we're going to do single crochet, and increase. And we just continue that pattern until the end. It's just a little bit tricky at the beginning, just so that we get the right amount of stitches. Single crochet, so we're on an increase here, which is 2, 1, and 2, single crochet, 1, and 2, and we finish on an increase, 1 and 2. 2. Let's count how many. This is stitch number 1 with our marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17 is on our hook. Okay, that's what we want. Now, what we're going to do, we need to count. We want to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so push your hook in. We're going to do a single crochet. That's number 1. Move your stitch marker. We're going to do a single crochet. This is number 2. A single crochet. This will be number 3. Now in number 4 we're going to do something a bit different, and this is to try and give us these little corners. You're going to take a single band and pull it through. You're going to join this loop to it like that and reclaim. You're going to take another band, loop it through and reclaim, and then take this one over the other like that. Now then we're going to go back through the band that we started in right here, so it's band number 4, back through, grab another band and you're going to do a single crochet with it, so pull it through, reclaim, one over the other, and then you're going to put this one over it too, and see how that's sort of given us this little corner. Now we're going to count 4 again, so this is the next one is number 1, 1, 2, 3. Now number 4, remember we're going to pull our single band through and add that loop to it, reclaim, so that's like a chain, chain another one, reclaim, this side over like that, you formed your slip knot, back through that same stitch, pull through, do your single crochet with that band and then join them together, and again you've got this little angle happening. Alright, let's count another 4. This is number 1, 2, 3, and here's number 4. Pull a single through all the way, reclaim like a chain, chain another, recapture it, one over the other into a slip knot, and then back through and do a single crochet and then join them together. Now we'll count another 4. This is 1, 2, 3. Here we're at number 4. Push your hook through, drag through all of them, reclaim like a chain, chain another one, do your slip knot, back through that spot where you started there, do a single crochet and join. And now we just single crochet to our stitch marker. So this is our last stitch here, and we're back to number 1, and we're going to put our hook through and do a single crochet and move our stitch marker to that spot like that. Okay, so this is sort of how we have formed our little square shape. Now the tricky part is we want it to come down. Alright, so we're now going to work, if you have a look, here's our stitch, and you've got the inner side and the outer side. We are just going to work on the inner loop. Okay, so you've got the 2 loops there, this one is closest to you, this one is further away from you. Alright, we are going to work just in this inside loop, and you're just going to single crochet now, there's nothing fancy. So drag a band through, reclaim and join to that first one. Now we go to this next stitch here, again a single crochet on the inner loop. This whole round is done on the inner loop. Now in this little corner you can see there's these two little loops here, 1 and 2. You're going to grab both of them, and if you have a look, you've got the two loops here. Alright, so you're going to grab both of them, and I've just found it looks nicer if you grab both. Pull your band through, single crochet and join like that. Now you're going to skip, because this is part of this set, you're going to skip this one here and move to this inner loop here, and a single crochet and join, join, go in through this one. There's your two little loops here for the corner. Drag a band through, and remember we're going to skip this one and go to here. Right. All the way up to the edge there, go through the two little loops, oops, I've twisted my band, untwist it, up and over, skip this one, alright, move to this one, two little loops. If I can get the other one, there we go. Pull through. Skip that one and come to this one. We're nearly back to the beginning. 1, 2, and I'm going through the inside one on this first one as well because we didn't before. Move your stitch marker like so. Alright, now spread it just out a little bit just to make sure it's nice and even. Our next round is going to be green single crochet going through both loops all the way around. So all the way around, just single crochet with the green. And I don't think it really matters what green you use. I'm using, I think it's a neon green, but I mean you can use any green. You can use dark green, or you can use a mixture of different greens together. For the browns, I'm actually using caramel and the cocoa. And I'm just going to alternate, mix a few together and just potluck what I get, really, so that it's sort of a mixed modge of colour for the brown, so it doesn't look all sort of uniform. So this is round 2. Now we're going to do 10 rounds, so we have 8 more to do. But it's not going to be all in green. Our next round is going to be brown with a few green thrown in just to make it look a bit higgledy-piggledy. So back to the beginning again. go to our first stitch. Now I'm going to take a couple of brown, these are the cocoa and these are the caramel, and I'm just going to mix them up. Okay, just mush them up together, and then as I take a band I'm not really going to know whether I'm getting a cocoa or a caramel, so I might get 3 cocoa in a row, 2 caramel and then a cocoa. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to start this is my first one. I'm going to do a single crochet, oops, if I don't let go of the band, and change my stitch marker. Now when you look at the blocks on Minecraft, they're not just straight down, they sort of are a bit higgledy-piggledy, so we're going to do that too. Alright, so I'm going to maybe do 2 stitches from the brown column, or maybe 3, it's completely up to you what you choose, and then take 1 from the green. Or take 2 from the green. Again, it doesn't matter, it's up to you how you do this. And then take from the brown column, you're just doing single crochets. Okay. Take from the green column, just make sure you have a couple of these greens in there, just to make it look a bit messy. Poke that corner out. Whoa! Throw a band at myself, that went all over the place. Let's throw a green in here. Try and mix it up a bit. And I'm back to the beginning, and I'm just going to do only the browns now. So move my stitch marker. Okay, so that's given me a little bit of a jagged edge around. That was round 3. Now if you've forgotten, remember you've got these, see these two little bands? That's row 1, row 2, this is 3. So we're now on 4. And what you can do, you know we're doing 10, and we're going to be starting on, so that's 1, 2, 3, we're starting on 4, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So this, every time you start a row around, you'll take one from here, and then you use your other pile to complete the round, and then start, take another one from there, alright, until we get to the end, and then we start to close and do our decreases. And they're just single crochets all the way around. Oops, 2 bands at the same time then. And you can mix as many different browns as you like together to give you more options if you have more. Put a couple of beige in, a few black, whatever, it's completely up to you. I did the tie-dye camouflage bands, that, as I said, that came out quite good. If you're doing sand blocks, you can do that, or if you're doing the wool blocks, you can just make it any colour really. Just stretch it into shape a bit, and it is going to slightly round on you. You have got this square at the top, okay, but it is going to slightly round on you, and that's normal. Change your stitch marker and take one from your other pile. And remember, you're picking these bands randomly, so you don't have to. You can make a pattern if you like. Oops. Okay, I'm going to mix a few more bands up. I've run out. Get that block out of the way. Okay, let's keep going to the end of this round. Back to the beginning, so take one from this little pile of bands. Move my stitch marker and start the next round. My little girl is really into Minecraft, and I have to admit I had played a different game, and my husband and I played a game called Second Life, and the graphics are fabulous. I mean, you could almost mistake a character for being real. And so when we started playing Minecraft, I was like, oh my gosh, they're so pixelated, the graphics are dreadful, how can you see what you're doing? And within 5 minutes, you would have thought that I was a dwarf in a former life. I was digging and making caverns and caves, and it was fun. The whole, the three of us, the whole family sitting there playing Minecraft together. I'm completely useless at it. Izzy invited me to go into her house, and I promptly destroyed her front door instead of opening it. So everybody was laughing at me, but that's okay. I'll have to show you our little server. My husband is in the IT industry, and so we're a very geeky family, and he made her a little Minecraft server so that she could play on that. And we invited a friend of ours called Donald. Donald is the most exceptional builder, and we knew him from Second Life, and he has built her, Izzy's really into Frozen, and he's built her Arendelle Castle, and there's the boats in the harbour, and there's these massive statues of Anna and Elsa, and then he built her a tree house. I mean, it's just, my jaw was just on the floor, absolutely gorgeous. So I'll have to do some not screenshots, I'll do a screen capture and fly around and show you. It's fabulous. Oops, don't miss a stitch, Kate. I nearly did. So how many of you are on spring break? My little one starts spring break this week, and so she's going to be home helping me, so there's not going to be much looming done this week. Back to the beginning. Move our stitch marker. And off we go. I have to admit, I am much better at World of Warcraft than I am Minecraft. Yes, I have a level 80 Fire Mage and a couple of other characters as well, so I'm much better at that game than I am. Nearly back to the beginning. Move my stitch marker. This is my second to last round. Oops, make sure I go through both those loops. through. This is my last band on that little pile, so I'm going to move my stitch marker, do my last round before we start our decrease. Oops. Try that one again. Mix a few more bands together, and then I'll have the fun of sorting them back when I've got the leftovers. Alright, so this is our first stitch here. So what we are going to do now is start to close this off, but first I'm going to push my hook through, grab a single band and do my single crochet, move my stitch marker to it like that, and I'm going to just put this stitch marker as well up on one of these stitches here just to keep it out the way. Okay, we're going to make sure that we have it long enough to fit our little piece of cardboard. Now I'm going to zoom back out so you can see what I'm doing. So make sure that you have the corners lined up, okay, and we're going to slide this in, stretch it so that it can fit. There we go. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And we'll see if we've made it long enough. We might need to do another round, and that's okay. I think we need to do one more round. Can you see? I probably made this one a little bit longer than the other one. So if we do one more round, we should be absolutely fine. So I'm going to leave that in for the second because I think I can still get to my stitches, and we will do one more round. Put my hook back in. Again, it's just going to be single crochet. Yeah, I can get easily to the stitches, so that's not a problem. And we'll do one more round of single crochet in a mix match of the colours. Oops. And you sort of want this to sit, the top of this last row to sit flush with the seam of your piece of cardboard. Which this is doing. So depending on whether you cut this, one might have been a little longer than the other. You might need to do an extra row. So do check that before you start doing your decreases. Oops. The super thing is with this style of crocheting is that because you've done little slip knots, if you do let things go and they unravel, they don't go very far, because all you have to do is pick up the slip knot and voila, it's fixed. Okay, so I think that looks a little better. Now, so if you pop that in like that, you can see that we have the edge just above the seam of the cardboard. Now what we're going to do is go through the inner loop only and do single crochet. Alright, so the inner loop only. Now that's stitch number 1, so I'm going to move my stitch marker and pop that on here. Okay, so again, single crochet in each stitch. You're not doing a decrease yet, but we're going in that inner loop. It'll take you a little longer because it's more fiddly with the cardboard here, but you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Just on that inner loop. Oops. Okay, so in here, and then we're back to the beginning. Now when we're back to the beginning, do one in that inside loop. Oops, move the stitch marker out the way. And we will swap our stitch marker to this new band. And now we go through both loops, okay? But what we're going to do now is start to do some decreases. So that was single crochet, and we'll do a single crochet followed by a decrease. So you go through the first loop and through the second. I need some more bands here, so let me mix them up again. And pull through to do your decrease like so. Then we'll do single crochet, single crochet, and a decrease. Oops, make sure I go through both. There we are. So single crochet, oops, single crochet, decrease. single crochet, single crochet, and a decrease. Single crochet, single crochet, and oops, got a bit enthusiastic there, and a decrease, and a single crochet. So I'm back to the beginning. I'm going to move my stitch marker. Now probably at this point would be a very good idea to stuff. Now you don't have to stuff. If you stuff, you get a more rounded top to it, like this. It's just a rounded top and bottom. If you don't stuff, it's just like this. It really doesn't matter, okay? I'm going to choose not to stuff. Well, no, I will. I'll stuff it so that you can see. So this is the stuffed one, and let me see, this one is not a stuffed one. So you have more movement here. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't have stuffing, it doesn't matter because you can still make them and not stuff them. So polyfill, 100% stuffing. You could use cotton balls, tissues. I had one lady use a shopping bag, grocery bag, completely up to you. Scraps of yarn. One lady had her husband's old t-shirts. She was chopping those up and using as stuffing. So pop your stuffing in. And you don't want too much stuffing because you don't want it to spread and make it so that the stitches appear wider than they need to be. But in this same instance, you don't want it looking a bit worse for wear and sort of, well, not skinny, but you know what I mean, unstuffed. Alright, take your stitch marker out, put your hook in. And you can take the stitch marker out altogether now because all we're going to be doing is decreases. So put your stitch in and find your next stitch and we'll do a decrease. Now if you choose to, you can do decrease and then a single crochet. I think I usually prefer to do that, and then I just do the decreases just by themselves at the very end. So do a decrease, followed by a single crochet, and then a decrease, and a single crochet, and a decrease, and a single crochet, nearly at the end here, a decrease, now you can probably just do decreases to finish it off, another decrease, and another decrease, I think we can do one more decrease before we end up doing our tie-off band. Here we go. So let's do a tie, oh, maybe one more here, one more here. And now we'll do a tie off, so go through the last band there, pull through both, and tie off in a slip knot, nice and tight. then you'll want to go through, I go through the center here and push through to the back side here, grab that tie-off band on the end of your hook and pull back through, and then gently pull your hook out so that you have no fluff, the filler stuffing, there we go, coming out. And there we go, there we have our little, and you can see it's a little bit protruding here, but you can sort of stuff your hook in and grab those bits and pull them back. There we go, like so. And there we have your little Minecraft block. I hope you enjoy making. You can make them, as I said, any colour you like, with stuffing or without stuffing. It really doesn't matter. So yeah, good luck with it. Take care. Bye bye.